Welcome back to Boxing from Scratch. Today we're going to look at the common mistakes that beginners make, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to fix them.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with who I am, allow me to introduce myself. My name is John Collier. I'm a former amateur boxer, former unlicensed boxer, former professional bare-knuckle boxer, as well as all the time I've spent with pro boxers as a sparring partner and a friend in my time. I'm the only online boxing educator in the UK to have competed in unlicensed boxing, amateur boxing and professional bare-knuckle boxing. I've been around this sport since around 11 years old. I've been coaching for around 15 years. I've coached from a charity level right up to British, European and world title level. So I know the sport very, very well. So hit like, hit comment, hit subscribe. Let's get started on your journey. I love this sport, and by the end of my videos, you will as well.
One of the most common mistakes that beginners make, or boxers in general sometimes, is carrying their hands too low. Carrying their hands like this. The way I was taught and the way I teach now when I'm coaching beginners, this is the way my coach taught me to do it, is hands up, chin down. So as you're working, always be touching your nose. You're nice and relaxed and you're touching your nose all the time. Reason being, you can't touch your nose from here. You can't touch your nose without low sun guard, where you're wide open for punches. Hands up, just touching your nose all the time. You're in a good position to punch from there as well. From there, he's got to come up and then out. Whereas if you've got it there, you can just punch straight away. You don't need to reset your hands or anything like that. You've got your hands in that position, touching your nose, ready to go. So the easy tip for not dropping your hands is touch your nose whilst you work. Another mistake the beginners make is standing too square on. As you know, we've been covering in this series the boxing stance. Standing too square on with both your feet facing that way. The way I was taught and the way I teach beginners now is when you're boxing, every now and again, just stop. So you're moving, stop. Check your feet, check they're in that boxing stance. Move around again, stop. Check your feet are in that boxing stance. You've got to mentally take accountability for the mistakes that you might make. And one way of doing that is to just stop every now and again and just check that everything's in good shape. The next one is overreaching, being too far away when you're trying to hit the target. This leads back into the one we've just done about feet. Take your feet with you before you punch. Now learn this slowly, don't try and rush it and rush in with punches. If you're there, you're too far away, you're leaving yourself miles off balance, you're not going to land anything clean, you're leaving yourself in a world of trouble. But if you take that little skip forward, then the punch is there for you, just to throw at the right distance. If you're too far away, you're off balance, you're wide open for a counter, you're not going to get any power, it's all wrong. So if you take that little step forward, and then throw the punch and move off again, it goes back to the accountability. Check yourself all the time when you. The last one is holding your breath when you're punching. Then you end up miles out of breath, you start hyperventilating, you feel like you're tired when you're not. If you'd got your breathing under control, you'd have been fine from the start. So the one way I like to do this is I'll throw 2-punch combination, take a breath, throw 3, take a breath. After every combination you throw, take a breath and let it out again. So jab, 1, 2. Also, breathe out as you're punching. You've always got your breathing under control then. Once you've got everything mastered and everything sorted, get that breathing right and you'll be unstoppable because you'll feel so fit. You're not tired after 30 seconds. You can't be if you're fit enough. It's your breathing. You're hyperventilating and you're working yourself up into a state that you don't need to be in if you've just got that breathing under control. There you go. There's the 4 most common mistakes that I believe beginner boxers make and the tips on how to fix them. Tune in tomorrow, we're going to look at the most important punch in boxing in depth.